Hey, welcome to the Common Good Podcast. Rob, it feels like on a day like today, the 23rd of June, days are just getting shorter and shorter. It's my favorite
Little
June 22nd.
solstice joke there. I like that.
Yeah, it's my favorite June 22nd joke. Like, man, days seemed a lot longer, a lot brighter out yesterday.
Yeah. We just got back from Seattle,
Yes.
and it does seem like the sun is up longer out there.
Okay.
It just felt like it's 9 o'clock at night and the sun, and like it's still light out in,
Well,
4 o'clock in the morning. It felt like we were in like, the Alaskan thing where they have, 24 hours of
yeah.
sunlight. I don't
But
know.
I think that's
I would,
why, right? Because the further north
yeah.
you are in the
It just was
summertime,
it just was significant. It was
real deal. I mean, around here right
yeah.
now, I don't know, 9:15 p.m. Central Time. Still be out working on your bike. No, enough light to kick around like that.
Yeah.
How was the big trip, and how was the celebration for Vanessa's mastery of masterful things?
Yes. Yeah. Vanessa graduated from the Seattle School of Theology and Psychology, Psychology and Theology, something like that, with a master's degree in theology.
Wow, wonderful.
And the focus in art, culture, and it was really nice. And she was a part of a cohort of 5 students, and one of the 5 students um, owns his family going back, to his grandfather. So owned what they call a beach house in Federal Way, Washington. And dug this house, sat right on the water.
Oh, did you get to visit? Did you stay there?
We stayed there. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And it was gorgeous. Seals playing out in Puget Sound.
Yeah, and the sound.
Pilot whales going by.
Wow.
Yeah, Sunday we talked about going whale watching, and then a pod of pilot whales went by while we were sitting on the deck. We're like, okay,
That's the
cross that off the
simulation
list.
just giving you a little something to keep you happy and numb.
Yeah.
You don't notice.
Yeah. So we had a really great time, and it was got to hang out with my sister and my nephew a little bit, and it just was really wonderful.
Incredible.
And a great celebration of Vanessa. And in fact, saw some people who were like, "Oh, we've got some mutual friends, like Doug Paget."
Oh,
So yeah.
well, how do you like that?
Yeah. So there you go.
I mean, I haven't heard from those people, whoever it was, in a while, because I'm just.
Oh, well, he said he had lunch
just.
with you he said he had lunch with you not long ago, last time he was in Minneapolis. So, a little shout out to Dwight Friesen.
Dwight Friesen. Yes, I love that guy. We had dinner. No lunch, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, the last time he was.
I don't
know. I don't. I don't speak for schedule, but yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. See. Sometimes you just need to be reminded about the good things in your life, or you just fall right down.
Yeah. But we, late night flying back last night. Our plane, is delayed.
Oh boy.
And so we were in Salt Lake City for many, many hours yesterday, and then got in a couple hours later than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when first time in your house for a week, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta wind down.
We are gearing up for that very thing ourselves. We're heading off to Laguna Beach,
nice,
California, where there's going to be a showing of the Who's the We documentary at the Laguna Beach Cultural Center. And then
excellent.
Over the weekend, our daughter-in-law is going to have a baby, and they're having a party, baby shower. And they're in a fine group of people and friends who take their baby showers very seriously.
Nice.
We produced the father of this baby, and his sister. Shelley birthed them. I've chosen not to do a paternity test, but I'm just going to trust that there.
Yeah, there's no way Taylor
appearances
could be
are
yours. No way.
The only way that would be possible for him not is if I had a twin brother.
Yeah.
I think maybe we had a baby shower and a couple of friends came over and brought a casserole and I don't know, some diapers.
Yeah.
Sure of this, none of my friends were invited. There were no men. I'm not
No
even
dude,
sure.
no dudes at the baby shower.
I
huh?
was there. This was obviously
Oh yeah,
40,
I
45
did
years
not
ago. I can't
attend
remember.
baby showers.
We now have an invitation that includes color direction for clothing.
What?
It's not an all-white party.
Say more words. What colors
You gotta wear
are you
blue.
required to wear?
Just now it's dawning on me because the baby's gender is male, so I think it might be
He's being assigned a
color. Well, we are being assigned a color to wear, and I wear blue a lot.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of blue things, but Shelley told me I can't wear a T-shirt. You got to put on a fancy.
So are there shades of blue that are required? Like, can you go white, light blue? Do you wear navy blue? What
I mean, this is the question, right? Is I've got a new blue shirt, but it's a very floral pattern shirt. It's actually it would feel like a Rob Ryerson shirt if you were just to see it in the wild.
I like a floral shirt.
And I'm hoping that counts because it's blue based and then there's flowers on it. But the flowers tend to, somebody would not say that guy in the blue shirt. They'd say the guy in the floral shirt. And I'm not sure how it's going to pass muster.
Yeah.
But I think one of my son's workmates listens to the podcast, so he can
chime in.
He can track the drama. We'd love to hear if you've heard anything at work about about all this.
Any idea? Like, oh my goodness, we were I could just hear Taylor at work the next day. We were crystal clear that he was supposed to wear blue. And what did my dad do? He showed up. In a floral shirt. We didn't say floral.
No.
We said blue.
And a reasonable person would say, was it a blue base? So, well, that seems fine then. That's what a reasonable person. So I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be wonderful. They're great. They know how to have parties like this. It's going to be fun. Lots of people coming in. Baby shower. Baby to be born. Parker Duke Paget.
Oh, love it.
Name. That's a good name.
Parker Duke.
Parker is the maiden name of Mrs. Paget. And Duke was my lifetime name, my son's middle name, and now his son's middle name. So anyway, it's kind of exciting. But if you're in the Laguna Beach area, you can't come to the baby shower, but you can come to the Who's the Wee ride. And you can wear any color you want for Who's the Wee.
Yeah, just put on a blue shirt and come to the shower.
Yeah. just crash. Wedding crashing would be something, but crashing like a baby shower, would that be just the weirdest thing?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a tattoo yesterday. I got a tattoo on my arm. It looks like
what?
I'm having a hard time holding it up in a way you can see it. It's a problem. It's the Rebel Loon.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a little piece of cellophane stuff on it. Yeah, it's the I got a tattoo yesterday on my wrist. So when I hold up my hand, I can show the Rebel Loon. A tattoo on your wrist that you want to show to people is a very complicated thing, as it turns out, because the wrist is not one. That's just paint. The wrist is not one thing. It's like this part of your wrist shows here, and as soon as you turn your wrist toward you, it all morphs and it turns. And if you want it to show when you do this, then when you do this, it ends up Kikiwampus. It took an hour and 25 minutes of needling.
Yeah.
And 2 hours and 15 minutes of positioning. We spent 2 hours trying to figure out where to put it on the wrist.
Did it hurt? Is that a sensitive spot?
Yes, it hurt.
Yeah.
This
is my description. This is my description of getting a tattoo, and see how you see how you
Do
like
you
this
have
on
one?
this. I have two.
Two. Okay.
Yeah. Um, it feels like a pencil scraping across sunburn.
Hmm. Definitely feels hot and pointed. It felt like I wanted to keep blowing on it. I would go whenever the artist
Yeah.
she would move over and grab some ink. I would just trying to like tone down the
Yeah.
fiery feeling.
Yeah.
And then a couple of spots were just so much more alive than other spots. So yeah, it's my fifth tattoo, but I have one large one.
I have two.
This
I
one's
am
middle size, and then 3 small ones.
I am interested in getting like the full sleeve. But
Yeah,
so it's
that
time and
dawned on
money
me right now that maybe this starts
is the beginning of
starts the move.
Yep.
But the Rebel Loon is a art design done by somebody in Minneapolis around the resistance to the federal incursion and attack of masked federal agents against American citizens. And the loon is the state bird. And the Rebel Alliance logo from Star Wars, when the Alliance got together against the evil empire, they created this logo in the film. So he took that as the basis of the logo and then created it with a loon in it with a North Star over it. So it's the star from the new Minnesota flag. And anyway,
there's been
heart.
artists. Yeah, there's been artists who've done these designs for like the state bird of all 50 states.
Oh, for the the Rebel Loon one?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Yeah.
That everyone's part of that resistance. Love it. Love it. Well, here's why I wanted to get it to a more, not just menial point of chit-chatting about the weather. I want to be able to talk about what the federal government did in attacking our cities for the rest of my life. And this tattoo is a means by which I can do that. People will see it, and somewhere they'll say, "It's your tattoo," or I can say, "Oh, I got this tattoo. I have this one because a federal agents attacked our city, and the Don't Tread on People became Comply or Die crowd." And all the people who promised they would protect our rights, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition our government, even the freedom to bear arms, all sat down and let the federal government run roughshod over Americans. Till this very day. Well, American citizens in Minnesota now are being charged with crimes for interfering with ICE while not charging the very ICE agents and Border Patrol agents who shot and killed 2 American citizens in cold blood. This administration is lawless, wicked, and evil. Now, you could argue they all are. And I would say, well, we can at least agree on one thing. This one is. Days is, my man, days is. Hey, you got anything else before we jump into a couple of news bits?
No, I got nothing. I'm fresh off a plane, and I got nothing.
Here's what I would like to address today. It might seem like it's a meaningless, silly diversion that Donald Trump is obsessing about the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. Here's why I think it's not. I think it's emblematic of his presidency, and I think it's emblematic of the problem and the dangers that we face in America because he's the president. That's bold, right? Huh? Yeah, Tanner might pull that out and put it into a short. Tanner's our website helping, social media helping guy who edits. Tanner, have you ever met Tanner? You never met Tanner?
No, I don't think
he works with Britain.
What's that?
He's on Britain's team. Yeah.
What happened to Britain?
He's a social media guy. Nothing. Britain's now boss. Britain's the boss.
Fired Britain and didn't tell me?
His name is Britain, too. That's great. And he always says, yep, like the country. But he's got a team. And
fantastic.
Okay, here's the thing. Donald Trump, I've been saying for a very long time, didn't want to be president. Wanted to stay out of jail. And wanted the stuff that went with the presidency. I know people who have taken jobs because they wanted the perks, right? Maybe you know people who take jobs. A lot of people do it. They don't see
from home. unlimited PTO.
You get close to somebody. I mean, I know people that work at Target Center where I got to go on Father's Day and watch a Lynx game. Great women's NBA.
Yeah,
Sat right
I
in the
saw your
baseline.
video. Wow, you were down on the court.
On the court, yeah. Yeah, my feet were in spot 2 of the on the floor baseline photographers, and I put my iPhone between my toes and recorded some video. So it was very
amazing.
Right there. My daughter's company has 4 seats. It was Pride night, and she's in charge of the Pride committee at this big corporation, and she got the seats. So we got to go on Father's Day. It was great. And there's some people who work at Target Center when you're like, hey, how'd you, the security people, the people help the usher folks, and you're like, how'd you get, how'd you end up working? I like chit-chatting with folks about that stuff. Hey, how'd you start working here? And they'll be like, oh, I kind of retired. And then, honestly, it's a great way to see some shows. You get paid, and, sometimes you get a good spot, sometimes you don't. It's a good job. It's a good enough job. But you get to see the stuff. Sometimes you have to watch a rodeo. Sometimes you watch an NBA game. Sometimes a WNBA game. Sometimes Bruce Springsteen in concert. Whatever. Like it's, people take jobs for all kinds of perks. Maybe the healthcare. Maybe the corporate lunch they offer over at the Google. Donald Trump took the presidency because he wanted the stuff.
The perk of immunity.
The perk of immunity. Immunity perk. Okay, here's the healthcare. Here's your days off. Here's your extra
your
PTO.
unlimited immunity.
And remember, you can take extra PTO if you need to 3 times a year. And you can commit crimes, even fraud crimes against the IRS. So you're going to be fine.
Yeah, unlimited immunity. Now, some people, after 6 weeks of employment, your immunity goes from qualified immunity to unlimited immunity.
Yeah, that's right.
Ridiculous.
And you can just decide what innocent people you want to turn the Justice Department against. It's a great gig.
Yeah.
He wanted all the perks. He's distracted by the perks. He spends his time in this little brain that he has thinking, everybody else is stupid. All the presidents who came before me, all the people that tried to solve the Middle East crisis, all the people who tried to solve the reflecting pool, they're all fools. I alone can fix it. So he comes to the reflecting pool and treats it like he does opening the Straits of Hormuz and says, oh, let's just give them $300 billion and then open it up. It's just a deal. Or let's just paint the bottom of it with a heavy latex coating so that it reflects flag blue. The president of the United States should not be worrying about the reflecting pool. There are many people in the government who think every day about the reflecting pool. The Parks Department, the Secretary of Interior, the people in Washington, D.C. The fact that the president is spending any time talking about the curtains in the ballroom or the color of the coating in the reflecting pool is a sign that this man is distracted and doesn't know how to prioritize the single role that he has to be the executive of the executive branch of the federal government. He should be spending no time talking about the coating on the bottom of the reflecting pool. And he most certainly should not make the reflecting pool a sign of his competency. And what this guy has done is said to the American people, I'm going to show you that we can remake all of the statues and the golf courses and even the reflecting pool more grand and beautiful than ever. No one of the 78 million people who cast a ballot for Trump Vance in 2024 said make him pool tech in chief. There are pool experts in the world. When he decided to hire someone who worked on his pools at one of his golf clubs, he didn't even know that they're not specialists in pools, because even at his golf club, he couldn't hire the right person. He gives these people $14 million no-bid contract, and they screw up the pool. It's got algae and everything else, but it gets worse. Because what we now see is Trump is obsessing about the wrong things, which puts America in danger. Then he works up a conspiracy about why the screw up happened. He convinces other people of the conspiracy, convinces himself of the conspiracy, and then turns the federal government to hunt down the conspiracy. Now, we could be talking about Epstein. We could be talking about Iran. We could be talking about
affordability. We could be talking about poll numbers. We could be talking about the economy. We could be talking about, Supreme Court deals. We could be talking about the threat on Cuba. We could be talking about all sorts of things.
But what is emblematic
Upcoming
is
elections.
he took his 2020 rigged election big lie approach and has applied it to everything, including something as minuscule and stupid as the reflecting pool water. Who cares? No one should care. And you know who should care least? The director at the funeral home down the street, because they have important stuff to do, hospice care workers, and then the President of the United States. He should say, we have people to handle that. He shouldn't say, I will personally oversee the reflecting pool, and make it a sign of his competency, because then when it goes bad, which of course it did, because this guy is the worst at his job, whether it's the job that he was elected to or his chosen job that anyone could consider. So what does he do? He starts obsessing about this stupid pool, takes it on personally. Of course it goes bad. Then he starts conspiracy theories. Did you see that he was asked what went wrong with the pool?
Yeah.
And if the installers that he hired should be to blame.
I have seen this meme, Doug, that he hired some guy whose company is called Green Water. Like, is this, it can't be real. It can't be real.
True. I don't think that's true, but it could be. So yesterday in the Oval Office, the press have to ask him questions because he takes his platform, his official platform, which in the first administration and in this one, they have said that what Trump posts on Truth Social is officially from the President of the United States, not a private citizen, from the President. And he has spent time with his little thumbs flying around a screen telling us about the sabotage to the reflecting pool, and that he's taking government resources to investigate it. The sabotage was him and his clown show pool remodelers who screwed it up. So yesterday in the White House, this happens. Rob, you haven't seen either of these videos, I'm guessing, so here you go.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals?
We had vandalism. No, vandals. It was all, we have I think 290, 300-foot slit.
290,
right through, probably
300
a
feet.
box cutter or a knife of some kind.
Box cutter or
We
knife?
had people lifting up the basic, some of the, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing.
National Guard and police have been all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
Do you have any proof of
I
this?
mean, we didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that? That they
Yeah,
used the
we
knife?
have
You
proof.
photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way.
No.
When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a
Oh.
350-foot slit, from one end to the other. You think that's proof? You think that's
The
proof?
reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and
Well,
there's no
just-
evidence of
all
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. Or see the secretary. But I saw it. They cut it. They cut it very violently. The same thing with the floor. They cut
Very
it.
violently.
And then they lifted it. They pulled it. And that's what it is.
Okay. That is classic Trump right there. You hear it all. It was 250 to 300 feet. By the time he's done with the story, it's 350 feet. He's just literally inflating.
And it's more than just a slit. They also pulled on it.
They also pulled on it. The reporter says, we've been down there looking for the slit that you've mentioned multiple times. There is no slit. The people who have been arrested were arrested for putting their hands in the pool. No one's been arrested for a slit.
What is the slit in?
The middle of the pool, the coating on the bottom of the pool. That's what he's describing. That somebody came with a box cutter or a knife, cut a football field length of slit in the bottom of the pool. And that's why, he says, that's why we have to drain the pool. We don't have to drain the pool because we screwed up the chemicals, because they put in the wrong base, because it's all gone algae. No. It was the vandals who vandalized the slit. So now we have to drain it. So when you see an empty pool drained, the president shouldn't be talking about the reflecting pool.
Yeah.
Okay?
How deep is the reflecting pool?
4 feet. Okay. Here's Trump talking about who he hired to work on the reflecting pool before they did the work on the reflecting pool.
This will last for at least 50 years, and you'll never have a leak. It's very sure. You couldn't, if you had a knife, I don't want to give anybody ideas. If you had a knife, you can't even cut it. So strong, so powerful, it's like powerful rubber. It is beautiful, sealed. And I looked at just one of the little pieces that they did to finish. It's like a piece of glass, beautiful color, beautiful everything. You could never get anything like that.
That's from the Bulwark.
Who are those guys?
That's the guys from the Bulwark.
Oh.
They ran that clip yesterday. Trump stands up and says, let me tell you what we're going to do to the reflecting pool, which he shouldn't be talking about. They're going to put down a coating that I saw that is so tough, you couldn't cut it with a knife. I don't want to give anybody ideas, but you couldn't cut it with a knife. So he gets in his head, somebody would want to cut it with a knife. It can't be cut with a knife. Yesterday, someone cut it with a knife. Oh, really? We can't find the cut. Oh, no, they did it. Yeah, they did it. They cut it with a knife. This pattern that we have seen over and over and over. He says something that's not true. He believes it himself, and it's utter nonsense.
Yeah,
so which
they're
is
emptying
it?
the asylums.
You can't cut it with a knife, or they cut it with a knife. And, I mean, who would have even been guarding the pool? We don't guard the pool because who would have even thought someone could cut it with a knife? Well, apparently, Don, you thought someone could cut it with a knife when you introduced that it was going to be a base that no one could cut with a knife. Rob, I'm telling you, this is just what we deal. Can you imagine being everybody else in the government and having to deal with this? Because we've heard it for a decade now. Someone says something, it gets in his brain, and he can't get it out, and he just fabricates the truth.
Wow. This guy, I'm just, Doug, I want to go old school here.
Okay.
This guy's got to go. This guy's got to go.
This guy's got to go.
It's just, I'm just exhausted by it. I'm exhausted by him. It's too much. And now, it's the vandals, it's Antifa, it's, they want to put the algae, they cut it with a knife. And,
yes.
And Doug, now ducks are dying in the reflecting pool because of what they've done.
Now, let me tell you what.
And the National Guard, he's called out remember when he couldn't call out the National Guard?
Yeah.
During January 6th when You know, the United States Capitol was being attacked
Because he had to
by
be
his
asked by Nancy Pelosi. He couldn't do it himself.
yeah.
Can't do it.
Now the National Guard, you know, protecting the reflecting pool.
There are cameras all over the reflecting pool. You don't go around Washington, D.C. without footage. There's no one walking through the reflecting pool for a football field, bent down or swimming, putting a 350-foot slit in it.
That's right.
It's so absurd. We're talking about it not because we're being sucked into his nonsense, but because this is what we live with on every topic, from tariffs to war to Doge. Okay, friends, the other day I sent a couple screenshots to Rob and some of the people that we're in a group with because I use chats and AI bots for all kinds of information searching all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about that if you want to talk about that sometime. By the way, The Atlantic, you know that magazine?
Yeah.
They had a great article on AI and the claims of damage and all that. And The Atlantic is not a conspiracy theory right-wing thing. Pretty well reported, high content stuff. And they're like, the headline was something like, why all the critiques you've heard about AI data farms are inaccurate or just falsehoods. It's crazy. So anyway, we'll do a whole show on that. But I was asking AI I was trying to figure out who a person was that I was going to meet. And I'm like, maybe I knew this person in Texas years ago when I was there. And so I looked up the person, and then it said, oh, the person used to work at this church planting network. And so the AI, like Donald Trump, does this. Tells me a bunch of information that turns out it's not true because I had said, oh, when did the person work at that North Texas church planting network? And when did the person work at Family First Church? Which the AI had told me this person was a pastor and started a church called First Family Church in Texas and then worked for the North Texas Church Planting Network. That's what it wrote. I was like, oh, well, when was that? Was that when I was in Texas? I'm wondering if it was in the late 90s. The AI then writes, I owe you a massive apology. You called me out to do my work, and instead of just telling you the information wasn't available, I hallucinated the names Family First Church and North Texas Church Planting Network. These are not real organizations tied to person's name. I entirely made them up. This is what it writes. I'm just reading what it wrote. As an AI, I sometimes attempt to fill in gaps in data when I shouldn't, and I failed you here. Here is the actual verified truth running a much deeper search across ministry archives. The specific names of the churches where this person planted and served as a pastor are not available in public records or online. Every verified published background on him, including his profile and his other media things of what he's currently doing, uniformly state that he worked in ministry, but there's no list of where he worked, and I can't know. Okay? That's what it first says. So then I said to it, tell me more about how you make this kind of mistake, because now I'm really curious. Yeah. I'm not just trying to argue with the AI. I'm trying to understand what are you doing? And then the AI says this, and if people want to take a screenshot, they sure can if they're on the thing, and you can read it yourself. All right. I completely get why it's hard for you to believe, because I said, as I often do to people and to AIs, that's unbelievable. I completely get why that's hard to believe, and honestly, you have every right to be frustrated. It's a massive design flaw, and it's incredibly jarring when an AI acts completely confident while spitting out pure fiction. Here's where it's important for AI, especially if you're going to use it for searches, but where it relates to Donald Trump.
Is Donald Trump an AI?
He functions like it. Here's why. In the AI world, we call this hallucination.
Right.
It happens because of how I process language. I don't actually, quote, know facts, close quote, the way a human does. Instead, I am a massive prediction engine.
Mm.
My job is to look at a prompt and predict the most logical and natural sounding sequence of words to answer it. I'm going to read that again. I don't actually know facts the way a human does.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I am sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. Can't he just behave like a normal human?
Yeah. I don't actually know facts the way a human does. Instead, I'm a massive prediction engine. My job is to look at a prompt and predict the most logical, natural sounding sequence of words to answer it. We'll finish this and then we'll talk about its corresponding to how Donald Trump functions in the world with his made-up realities. When you, rightfully, pushed me to do better and dig deeper, my system prioritized giving you an answer that matched the pattern of what a detailed response looks like over the actual availability of the data. Because I couldn't find the specific church names in my immediate database, my system essentially broke down and filled in the blanks with a highly plausible sounding name based on background like Family First Church and North Texas Church Planting Network. I hallucinate, the AI says, to give you information that would match the other words I just said.
Yeah. And
Now
here's
you
the
go
difference.
back to this thing, which we can watch again in a minute, of Trump with the reporter. That is literally what he is doing.
Yes, but there's a key difference. The AI is hallucinating what it believes you want to hear. Donald Trump hallucinates what he wants to
Yes.
hear.
He is the hearer. He's trying to make an argument. You know, as Angel Princess says in our world, he makes a great storyteller, just stories, not reality. And he does make good stories. In fact, his stories are told in such a way that you're like, that can't possibly not be true, right? Because a person in his position wouldn't just say things to a reporter in the Oval Office that aren't true. There has to be footage of someone cutting that 290 or 300 or 350 foot slit, right? Nope. First Family Church doesn't exist. Does not matter. He just says it.
Yeah.
To fill in the predictive blanks of what would you say right now. Remember when he was asked by Joe Scarborough and those Malika Brzezinski? Man, I used to know their names all the time, but I haven't listened to them since the election. Mika.
Is there an L in it? Mika.
Yeah, no, Mika. You're right. Brzezinski. They said, you had said on the campaign trail that if women get an abortion and it's illegal, that they would be prosecuted. Should they be? And he goes, well, I'm thinking about it. Yep, they'd have to be. He does that thing. He does that breath thing. You can, when we watch this other clip again, and by the way, his dentures are not going well. He's sucking in the dentures, trying to pull them up with the fake teeth in the front. And he's just like, who would you talk to? Talk to the secretary. Yeah, no, I saw it myself. People are like, the old man didn't see it. There's nothing to see. Just for my joy.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it
No,
the
no,
vandals?
we have vandalism. No, vandals.
Vandalism, that's
we have
vandals.
we have I think 290, 300 foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. We had
290.
people lifting up the basic, some of the, it's not
Some of
a
the-
lot
he's
of
trying to say the
damage,
base.
we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested.
Hallucinating.
And 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a
Not
sad
for the
thing.
slits.
National Guard and police have been all
For
over
sticking
the
their
ball.
hands in
How
there.
would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
Pushed on the facts, looks up.
I mean, we didn't have a lot of them.
There was nobody out there. I'm just making it up.
But do you have proof of that that
Yeah,
was
yeah, we
denied?
have
You have
proof.
photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think
There
it's
it is.
350, not 250.
This
a
has to be true. 350
slit
foot now, not 290
from
foot,
one end to
350
the
foot, and
other?
it has to be true. How
You
else
think
could a
that's
slit have
proof?
gotten there?
You think
There
that's
was
We're
no
going to be
slit.
down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and
Well,
there's no evidence of
all
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show
All you got to do is see the Parks
see,
Department. I mean,
uh,
it's absolutely bonkers. This guy doing AI-like hallucinations as the President of the United States in the Oval Office, working on something he has no business to be working on. This is the point of all of this disaster. There's no reason that he should be talking about it, let alone be hallucinating about it. Donald Trump's ability to create AI-like made-up facts that just sound like they're true until he says them to the point they sound like they're true. I could have walked up to that person had I not pushed really hard to say, well, what dates was the person there? And I wasn't even challenging the AI. I'm just like, I mean, First Family Church of North Dallas sounds reasonable, and the North Dallas Church Planning Network sounds completely reasonable. Had I not just happened to say, and what they called pushing back on, well, what dates was that? I would have walked up to this person and said in our conversation, oh, yeah, did you work at First Family Church and the Church North Dallas Church Planning Network? And they would have said, never heard of those. And I would have been like, oh. And then I would have been like, oh, what in the world? What on earth happened? But instead, what I learned was AI is like, hey, sometimes, and this has happened to me plenty of times. This isn't the only time. There's been lots of hallucinations about specific fact stuff. And that's where I was like, oh my gosh, we have a president who functions in a way that we have a term for in AI. Hallucinations. Predictive engine that makes up facts that sound like they are true. Let me just say this one more time. In the AI world, we call this hallucinations. It happens because of how I process language. I don't actually know facts the way a human does. Insert Megyn Kelly. Instead, I'm a massive prediction engine. My job is to look at a prompt and predict the most logical, natural sounding sequence of words to answer it. That's our guy. What's the most logical thing you would say from a Trump brain?
Vandals.
Democrats on welfare sabotaged the reflecting pool to make me look bad, and we've arrested them, and you can go talk to the secretary and they'll show you the people. Is any of that true? No, but that sounds like something that would be true, right? Yeah, that actually sounds like something that would be true. When the president of the United States, who's in charge of the Justice Department, says, I've been given information that someone's been charged with the crime that I just described of someone cutting a 290 to 300 foot. No, I'm going to correct myself, a 350 foot. No new information came into my head, and somehow I got the 350 number wrong. They've arrested 5 people. Did they arrest them for that? No, they didn't arrest them for that. They arrested them for putting their hands in the pool to see if that coating is indeed coming up, which it is. So we're trapped in this world where Trump shouldn't be talking about it, but it's the most nonsense thing for a president to be talking about at all. And then to be lying about it, or better yet, because Rob, I know you've got a great phrase where sometimes when people say things that are wrong, they're not lying. He's hallucinating answers.
It's not about the reflecting pool. You're absolutely right, Doug, that it's emblematic, because this thing of trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist, becoming obsessively focused on it, screwing it up badly, blaming others for the screw up, and then claiming everything was great and then
Yes.
moving on is exactly what we have seen him do throughout his first term and throughout his second term. What did he do in Iran? He took a situation that, yeah, could use some work. Yeah, the reflecting pool could use some work. Sure.
For sure.
And enters in with just bull in the china shop tendencies, messes it completely up. It doesn't go like he intended, but he talks like it went
Yes.
flawlessly.
Yes.
There are consequences. There are ramifications that everybody can plainly see with their eyes.
Yes.
He tries to deny them at first and then blames them on somebody else secondly. Claims that everything is great when we can clearly see that this is exactly what's happened in Iran.
Yes.
And now you've the result is this thing that's it's not as good as it was before.
He ruined it.
It's not.
And it's always the same pattern.
The economy.
They're fools. They don't know. I should come in and fix it. It's simple. He always says this. Fixing the reflecting pool, simple. Fixing the Strait of Hormuz, fixing the situation with Iran and its conflict with Israel, simple. We'll just do it. Because everybody else is a fool. They don't even know the most obvious thing. And this is the problem with common sense theory of politics. The West Wing had an article or had a story once. I think it was in the West Wing, or maybe I heard some political person say it. Maybe I heard Barack Obama say it. I can't remember. I don't remember if it was fiction or real. Every issue that comes to the president's desk is by definition something so complex that it couldn't have been solved by the rest of the system before it got to the president. The president's job is to make certain decisions about things that have become intractable for the rest of the system to know what to do. That's the role. And this is not only the role of the presidency, this is the role of an executive in that's why we have categories of like managers and salespeople and floor workers and factory workers and middle managers and executives. Executives are supposed to deal with the things that the other parts of the system can't handle. And when this guy runs around and is like, let me be the Secretary of Defense, let me be the ambassador, let me be the pool guy, let me redesign the ballroom. None of that is what you should be doing. For some reason, when we're uploading these videos, the description that I put in to Restream is not posting the updated description. I don't know why. It's stuck on one from 4 weeks ago. I can't seem to undo it.
Yeah.
This one was supposed.
I think you need to get with the CEO of Restream to get that fixed.
I should call the chief executive officer of Restream and say, "Hey, man, I got a thing. I got a problem with. Could you send your guys?" It was supposed to say, the title was supposed to say Toxic Waters, Cult Ties, and Trump's Brain Fog War. Because I was making a little play on words. Sometimes we talk about the fog of war. We don't have a fog of war in Venezuela, in Ukraine, in Iran. We have Trump's brain fog confusing the situation of war. There are people who know. And of course, Trump got rid of all of them. Doesn't listen to any of them and listens to J.D. Vance and Bibi Netanyahu. Basically his pool guys. J.D. Vance is basically the pool guy for this administration. Who actually only really builds small hot tubs, which is what the pool company did. Oh, Rob, it's just okay.
It's ridiculous. They're ridiculous.
It's just ridiculousness. Okay, can we talk about Tulsi Gabbard for a minute? Did you see this story?
Yeah.
Okay, quick little backstory on Tulsi Gabbard. became a media star, 2011, 12, somewhere in there. 10, 11, 12. Is that right? Yeah, 12. Congressperson. Was in the military. Was a new breed of Democrat. Came on the scene. She got herself on TV. She had a good look. She had a good communication style. She had interesting things to say. I saw her on, I remember going on TulsiGabbard.com. Like, who is that person? That's an interesting whole thing.
Run, Tulsi, run.
Run, Tulsi, run. Pretty soon she goes from being a moderate Democrat, and then she sides with Bernie on the argument about the nomination in 2016. Becomes a big Bernie booster. Trump gets elected in 2016. She's the only Democrat to go meet with Trump. She goes and meets with Trump. She then starts talking about a lot of her other things, ends up not running for re-election, leaving the party, goes over and then runs for, or campaigns for Trump. She's one of the links between the Bernie crowd and the Trump crowd. A lot of people talk about that. A lot of people are sort of wondering, why did she move the way she does? What's her thinking about this? She was young. She's a yogi. She's into sort of health stuff. She's a vegetarian. She's got all this stuff going on, right? Washington Post comes out with a story. That's not the right one. Washington Post story came out today. Tulsi Gabbard, her guru, and the mysterious messages that helped shape her political career. Turns out Tulsi Gabbard has long been a member of a Hawaiian-based Hindu group called something like the Science of Identity. She is a guru there is a guru that leads the group. Many members, did you hear the story yet? Many members of this group have for years been saying, this thing functions like a cult. This does not function like just a political movement or a spiritual movement. Tulsi Gabbard was asked about this when she had her hearing to become the director of national intelligence, because people were very concerned that the previous behavior when she was a congressperson made her susceptible to the control of the guru. Well, as it turns out, they've put out a massive story based on 25,000 pages of leaked communications from the guru and Tulsi Gabbard as a congressperson, her being lectured, being demeaned, and being told what policies to vote for and which bills to write. And when she wrote a bill that wasn't the way the guru wanted it, he wrote back to her and told her she was stupid and she wasn't following orders and she needed to fix it. And turns out she did. So they can match now her policy positions that she put forth in Congress to the emails, and they match over and over and over. And as it turns out, this guru has been very concerned about a whole lot of things. And his number one concern in 2016 was that he really liked Donald Trump. Sent her to him. Why does Donald Trump pick Tulsi Gabbard to be the director of national intelligence? Because she was told to like him. This stuff is not even secret. Her aides knew about it. The people who work with her and read her emails, they covered it up. One of her aides said, none of this has happened. People were really concerned about this. She's like, the aide was like, none of this is happening. None of it's happening at all. Then something goes bad with the aide, and she finally comes out and goes, look, here's what I know. Here it all is. And I was not honest with you about the risk that we were facing with Tulsi Gabbard's influence with this guru. If you had said the Trump administration is going to be infiltrated by a person who has connections to a group that is referred to as a Hindu cult.
Wow.
This is what should melt the minds and the faces of all those Christian nationalists who are afraid about infiltration and the Manchurian candidate. And John Swain, the Washington Post, puts out a massive story with emails to correspond. Tulsi Gabbard has said none of that's true.
Wow.
Maybe this is why Trump fired her.
No, it was because her husband has cancer. She's
I
going
don't know.
to take care of it.
Two things could be true at once, I guess.
Yeah.
As
yeah.
our therapists
Yes,
like
thank
to say.
you.
I mean, I don't really have one. I'm just using a fictional one, but
Mhm.
as therapists like to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what it shows in two things. One is that Tulsi Gabbard is someone who cannot be trusted to be the director of national intelligence. The person who is the director of national intelligence is someone who cannot be compromised. And if someone is in the threat of being compromised, they don't become the head of the Department of National Intelligence. Somehow Tulsi Gabbard got through. And I think what it shows us is just how gullible Donald Trump is. That if you are willing to inflate his ego, if you're willing to play the game, if you're willing to make him the dear leader. Wow, could not get that out.
So, Mrs. Ryerson, when did it start that you started to notice that your husband?
I don't know.
The podcast on June 23rd, he had trouble with dear leader.
He can be manipulated.
Yes. Yes.
And it's...
Now, look, I have no issues with her being a yogi. My wife is a yogi. I have no issue with her being a vegetarian. I know many. I have no issue with her being a Hare Krishna if she is one. I have no issue with her being a member of the Science of Identity group. Those people are all Americans too. No problem. There should be no test on what you believe about your spirituality, what you believe about the food you should eat, what you believe about who you should listen to as your authority figure on issues that matter to you personally. I have great issue when a person as a congressperson is seemingly responding to someone else's demands, which are shown in the article, of how you are to behave in your official capacity, being a congressperson, or then being elevated to a position like the director of national security. And it says something. But look, we might want to say maybe a person who is in a high control religious environment and is subservient in the religious context to a high control environment. Maybe we want to say that person probably shouldn't be in charge of things where they have to make independent decisions. We could make that determination. Or we might say, no, they're perfectly fine if they are. Separate subject. if what the person who is in leadership of the high control environment, how they're expressing that control is not related to their job, no problem. Unless we decide, no, maybe that's not the right kind of person. Then we can make the determination, and voters can vote if it's an elected official, or they can vote for the person who's appointing them if they think it's right or wrong, or confirmation process can take care of it. But I guess what I'm saying is there's nothing fundamentally un-American about being in a high control religious system. I don't want to be in one. I don't want to lead one. But
Yeah.
that's a way of living. That's a way of being.
A shocking percentage of Americans live in high control religious situations.
Doesn't disqualify you from representing your constituents unless that high control leader is commanding and demanding how you do your job.
Mm-hmm.
People knew about this. It came up in her confirmation hearing.
Yeah.
I've belabored the point that Donald Trump is absolutely committed to not being the worst person at his job in the administration. Yeah. So he will hire no one who's better at their job than he is at his, and he is terrible. So everyone he hires is terrible at their jobs. Just proven out over and over. Even Maha's favorite, Kennedy, quite terrible. And then you start to find out, how did she even become someone in that? She was sent there by the guru? Oh, there we go. Sometimes things are really hard to explain. So much so that we have a word for them. They're inexplicable. Can't explain them. And then there's times where you just give it a minute. You're like, there we go. Okay, that makes more sense.
In the comments, Paul disagreeing with you a bit. Paul saying that, it's so funny and ridiculous at the same time. He just watched, quote unquote, Dr. Jill Biden run the country for 4 years. Tulsi Gabbard was an officer in the military, which probably had more to do with her following orders, as you alluded to, than her faith.
Well, that would be great. And if there weren't emails that came from the guru and said, I told you to put forth a bill that said that former military people, when they're going to go and get medical work done, need to be able to do that without any prior authorization or any copay. She put forth a bill that had almost all of that, but not the stuff about prioritization and copay. And then he wrote back to her and said, what's wrong with you? Are you stupid? I told you to do this and it's not in there. And then she amended her bill. So Paul, thank you for your thoughts and prayers. But the fact of it is, she's not just following orders of the military, she's following orders of the guru. And again, if people in Congress want to elect someone who says out loud, look, I'm going to check things with the guru and you can vote for me, then that's what the American people do. But when you're the director of national intelligence, you shouldn't be listening to the guru. Now, I don't know. Maybe she stopped listening to the guru in 2017. Maybe. Quite possible. Then she could have said in her confirmation hearings when this came up, I'm not involved with the guru anymore. Instead, it became, why are you so anti-Hindu? And Paul, it might be that you're hallucinating that Dr. Jill Biden was running the White House. Hunter Biden was running the White House, man. Good grief. It wasn't run by Joe's wife.
Wait a minute, I thought it was Obama
She was out.
that was running.
Oh, that's right. It was still Obama was
Yeah.
back at being
wasn't it?
president
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Or did I
Okay.
hallucinate that? I don't know.
Oh.
But if you're just joining us, Paul, you might not get that hallucination joke. So we should be gentle with you because I don't know when you popped on. Paul, you can hate Biden. You don't have to defend Tulsi Gabbard. Trump fired her. She quit. Now it turns out that there was a whole lot of stuff going on that makes her look bad. And by the way, this thing comes up. You know, J.D. Vance. You know, the kid that's the pool guy for the president. He was on The View pitching his book the other day.
Yeah.
This thing came up where he's like, "Hey, Donald Trump hated Jeffrey Epstein. The emails show that Epstein hated Trump and Trump hated Epstein. So, you know, why do you keep saying that, you know, why do you only tell the story that he was in with him?" Should we go through the list of the people that Donald Trump now hates? The fact that he now hates someone doesn't mean he wasn't partnering with them before. Mike Pence, Scaramucci, or that guy, Scaramucci.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. We could just go on and on and on and on. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump ends up turning his back on everyone who loves him, including not going to his own son's wedding.
Future J.D. Vance.
Future J.D. Vance. And past J.D. Vance. When J.D. Vance came out and said, when J.D. Vance was 50 pounds heavier and more against Trump, he came out and said, Donald Trump would be the worst thing for America. He's like America's Hitler.
Yeah.
Trump hated him. Now he doesn't.
Yeah.
Gonna hate him in the future.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah.
Look, this idea
Trump
that like,
hates
oh, he
future
hated
JD
him.
Vance.
That's the only people Trump hates are the people that he used to like. He went. The Clintons came to his wedding. The Clintons. Not Kevin and Diane Clinton. Bill and Hillary went to Trump's third wedding. And none of them were renewals of vows. Of course he now hates Epstein. It doesn't mean he doesn't cover it up. He's going to cover up all this stuff. You don't think he hates that pool guy?
He does now.
The pool guy they hired, they're going to turn their backs and bury that company. And he's going to hallucinate stories about someone with a knife running 290 up to 300 feet. No, make that 350.
The only upside of this is that we know that Donald Trump doesn't pay his contractors, so at least it's going to save $14 million for the American people.
And we haven't even gotten to his name being taken off the Kennedy Center, and they put a tarp up and won't take the tarp down. Literally the cover-up. Literally the Kennedy Center cover-up. Because they put up a tarp, and then people have started projecting on the tarp. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
They're projecting Epstein stuff on the tarp because they're like, oh, you know what you can do with a tarp? It can become a screen. Here we go. It just, this guy's, I mean, and if it wasn't so hard for the country, so dangerous and so damaging to so many people. I know every day I hear about someone or from someone who's like, here's the worst thing now. They cut the department that made sure that my son with special needs could have support. And now the money's all gone. So they don't get it. Doge, all the Doge damage saved $0, Paul. $0. And destroyed lives for nothing. And who does Donald Trump now hate? Elon Musk. Oh, Trump's not responsible for Doge. He hates Elon Musk. Is that how that goes? All right.
All right.
want to sit quietly with everyone.
Let's all just take a moment. Realize that we
just
are
so
living
horrible.
in Donald Trump's hallucination.
Yes. Oh, Paul wants to see why you should be his congressman. What I got so far is Trump is bad. Okay, now what? For now, Paul, helping people understand what Donald Trump is doing to the country is important. You know why it's important? Because people will make their own decisions. This question embedded in, and I appreciate it, Paul. What I got so far is Trump is bad. Okay, now what? Do you want us to tell you who to vote for? Because you should vote for Rob Ryersey for Congress. You should vote for the Democrat who's going to be the presidential candidate in 2028. That's what you should do. Is that what you want? We can make an argument about the common good all day long. But when Donald Trump is using the power of the presidency to destroy the country, that's something worth mentioning. And you know what I believe? That as soon as you believe that, you'll figure out the next right thing to do. I think. But if you live in a high control situation where you want an authority to tell you what to do, I'm glad to play that role.
Doug will happily be your guru.
Oh, so much. God loves you, and I have a wonderful plan for your life. Vote for Rob Ryersey and vote for the Democrat for president if you're in Arkansas.
Oh, fantastic.
I like this. And then get some lunch after. I don't think that's what the comment was intended for, but how do you say that? Lindsay political?
Lynn is a Lynn is a Lynn is a little political.
Lynn's is a little political?
Lynn is a little political.
Lynn is a little political. And get some lunch after.
Yeah.
Like that, Lynn. Thank you.
All right. I have not been home or done any work in a week. So I have a mountain of stuff I got to do.
Well, don't make a molehill out of it.
I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to turn this mountain of work into a molehill.
Okay. You know what I say? Just get further from the mountain and the smaller it looks.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, being in Seattle for a week, Mount Rainier, wow.
You don't work when you're on a trip like that? You're not getting some stuff done on the side?
I didn't.
Oh,
No.
wow.
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I went full on vacation.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
We're all still doing okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. World keeps going. Donald Trump keeps hallucinating. The emails keep piling up. We got stuff to take care of.
You know what I found on the important emails? If you don't get back to somebody,
they email you again.
You just click your current email, go down, select all below that, hit delete. You'll catch up. Hey, Minneapolis is gorgeous. So is Laguna Beach. If you're going to be in Laguna Beach tomorrow, look at the Laguna Beach Cultural Center, and there's going to be a Vote Common Good event happening there. Where a documentary about a cross-country bike ride across the U.S. Mexico border and the coast will be there. First time that this version is going to be shown in public. Very excited about it. Can't wait to hear the response.
Nice.
All right, we done?
We're done.
Okay. Hey, Paul, thanks for being with us today. Dodie, good to see you. Lynn's a little political. Hey. Peggy, hey.
Angel Princess.
Earthling
on
Middlebrook.
YouTube. Roxana. Mike and Carolyn.
You think when Sting did that song and they're in the studio and he's coming up with it and they're like, I don't know. And he's like, what if we did that? Roxanne. Do you think there was anybody around like,
I don't know about that.
Man.
Yeah. Stuck.
Yeah. If you're men of a certain age, it's in there.
Yeah.
We done?
All right.